Charter boat operators Cheryl Burrows and Troy Olsen run tours of southeast Queensland's coast and waterways. These days, their vessel has been left to bob on the Brisbane River more often than not. They say the international fuel crisis is to blame.
We're just going by on the skin of our teeth. We're at the point now where we're going, we have to cancel, we don't have enough people to cover.
Bit of a dire situation, actually.
Ticket sales are down and cancellations are up for tours on their boat, the Lady Brisbane, while the price of a tank of fuel is now thousands of dollars more expensive than it was weeks ago.
And the price had just shot up. It had gone over triple anyway, and then on top of that you're paying your crew and skippers and that sort of thing. It just wasn't doable, it wasn't a viable option.
The couple has temporarily axed long-distance routes outside the Brisbane River and increased ticket prices to cushion the blow on their bottom line, but business has taken a hit.
I'd say it's over tens of thousands right now. It's also the money that we've got to give back to customers.
We got an initial cancel from someone booked on a cruise at least 3 weeks in, or away from their cruise, and they just said they had to stay home. They couldn't afford their own fuel to get to us. So it really has affected us.
The effects of the conflict in Iran are rippling through Queensland's $31 billion tourism industry.
We've been quiet for 5 months. You're relying on this high season.
The phones have been dead quiet at Sandy Marsh's caravan park in Charleville in outback Queensland. When they do ring, it's not to make a booking.
I've had about 80 cancellations so far. Now I check my emails and this heaviness as you look, and it's cancellations.
Sandy says the autumn tourist season is a financial lifeline after the post-Christmas low.
There's concern when I question the people when they're cancelling. It's not about the money, that's a little bit, but they said we can deal with that. It's the uncertainty of availability, and if they're here, will they get stuck here? They're scared they can't get home.
Here we are passing one of our 3 service stations that we have here in Charleville.
Burwa Shire Mayor Sean Radnich decided to find a way to reassure travellers that fuel is available.
We're just pulling in and there's one car at the Bowser and not a truck in sight.
And the Mayor, along with 6 other councils in southwest Queensland, didn't wait on the federal or state governments for a solution.
Once you go to this fuel website, you're met with the map. There's nothing else to do.
Tomorrow, they'll launch an online dashboard which reports fuel stock levels in their towns.
You can click on a link and be able to see that there is availability of fuel on the next town that which you're a part of your journey.
Soon, once a day, council members from every shire across the region will have a new morning routine.
I'm just calling to check on how many litres of fuel.
Calling up every service station in the region and logging their stock levels online.
53,000 litres of diesel and unleaded today. Do you have that?
That tourist can click on a town within the platform that is highlighted with green if it's got fuel, amber if it's running low, red if it's got none. But at this stage, I can say that the whole of southwest Queensland and southwest Rock are all sitting on green.
The Queensland Government wants a similar measure to be rolled out nationally.
We need a national dashboard, and that'll tell you about the availability in the country. It'll talk about the pressure points in getting them out into the regions, but it'll also explain what are the ships that are due to arrive.
This needs to be a coordinated approach, and it should absolutely start at a national level.
Tourism industry representatives say pressure from the fuel crisis has been the final blow for some businesses.
We're already hearing of some businesses that have had to make the very tough and heartbreaking decision to close their doors. Last week there were 2 businesses that came across my desk, so it is a real risk and it's happening.
And while some operators experienced an Easter boom due to increased demand for local holidays, the head of Queensland's tourist industry is seeking federal and state government support to keep struggling businesses afloat.
We're asking for relief measures through tax. We want to see a task force created that addresses the barriers to business. We want to see domestic marketing campaign through Tourism Australia and onto Tourism and Events Queensland and our state bodies. We want to see direct, targeted support that's going to help this industry thrive.
Why is tourism so important? Why should financial support be given to operators as opposed to residents who are struggling to pay their bills?
There's a few things. Tourism is the largest employer in Queensland. The return on investment that economies get from tourism is significant. Tourism is not just a hotel or a tour operator. Tourism affects everywhere. Places like the Whitsundays are 1 in 3 jobs are tourism jobs. If you're the mechanic, you are in tourism. If tourism has a downturn, the mechanic has a downturn. The flow-on effect is significant.
In a statement, the federal government said the Tourism Minister is holding regular meetings with stakeholders and will continue to work with the industry. Back in Charleville, Sandy Marsh is bracing for an uncertain future. Concern mounting with every day the fuel crisis stretches on and not knowing if it'll be weeks or months before it ends.
I actually don't want to think that far ahead because it does actually frighten me. But it was just so great to just see you guys pull up and people are actually still doing it, you know, because it is a concern.
Yeah, let's face it, if we don't get that tourism dollar, people are going to lose their jobs. People are going to lose their businesses.